Imperial Stout time, and we have got a can of Massive Dog here today. It's a Rivington, seemingly a Rivington beer. It appears to be some kind of collab with Tartarus beers and Hive Bakehouse. It's a salted caramel Imperial Stout, coming in at 9.5%. Stout sounds absolutely delicious. It just says a salted caramel Imperial Stout brewed with our mates at Tartarus beers and Hive Bakehouse. So brilliant stuff. Apparently it says here, the Cult of Independence by Beernomicon Podcast. Shout out to Beernomicon Podcast, whatever that is. Apparently the beer was brewed as part of the Cult of Independence project by our mates at the Beernomicon Podcast. The project aims to help organise collaborations between breweries and small independent businesses in other sectors to promote and support their corner of the market. Sounds amazing. Sounds like a good idea as well. So, anyway, I love the name. Massive Dog. I love an Imperial Stout. I love Rivington Brewery. Let's crack it open and see what happens. So let's have a see. Let's give it a pour. So, as expected, very dark there. Go about that far with it. Again, wrong hand. So there we go. So we got Massive Dog. And let's have a see what we're getting on the nose. Oh yeah, classic Imperial Stout. Classic Imperial Stout smells there. Certainly getting coffee, getting a roasted coffee there. Getting kind of like really dark fruits, black cherry, a little bit of blueberry. It's smelling. So we're getting a little bit of a head there as well, which is, you know, thin head, slightly fluffy the head for an Imperial Stout. It tends to be a bit silkier sometimes. Yeah, strong smells of coffee there though. Coffee, brown sugar, a little bit of molasses. Yeah, okay, it smells absolutely delightful. Can't tell whether this is going to be sweet or like a bitter dark chocolate. There's certainly strong chocolate there in the flavour. I'm not getting salted caramel so much there, but because that might come in the taste. Let's have a see what it tastes like. Cheers. So it's got kind of a medium mouthfeel. I wouldn't say it's particularly thick. It's got a very bitter dark chocolate on the finish, I'd say. It's yeah, very sort of demerara sugar kind of on the arrival. I say it's quite a carbonated mouthfeel really. It's the kind of mouthfeel you get from a stout. That's around about 6.5%. You tend not to get this mouthfeel with the stronger ones. It tends to be more of an oily, kind of thicker kind of mouthfeel on them. But that's not a bad thing though. You certainly get a lot of flavour there from the yeah, get a lot of flavour there from the coffee and the dark chocolate. Again, still not getting salted caramel. It tastes more to me like a coffee Imperial Stout is the way I would kind of describe it really. It's more kind of coffee-y. Great word. What a great word when describing beer. Yeah, it's more of a coffee taste. So I'm getting that quite strong. A lot of brown sugar. Like kind of a treacly taste there. Surprisingly easy drinking for a 9.5%. To be honest, it's nice. I'm digging it. I gotta say, it's got a relatively long finish. I'd say quite a bitter finish for me with the Imperial Stouts. I like it. I like the sweeter. I like the sweeter stouts a bit more. This one I'd say a little bit bitter for like. Almost like it was supposed to be like actually a pastry stout with a salted caramel. For salted caramel, I'd expect something a little bit sweeter, I would say. But to be honest, though, I think the bitterness makes it, because it gives it a little bit more character, I suppose. It's a bit like a slightly more carbonated version of the Roaster Coaster from Brewdog, but nowhere near as sweet as that was, because that was like a Vietnamese coffee stout, which was a lot sweeter than this. But I'd say this is like a sort of more bitter, slightly fizzier version of that, really. I'd say that's the best way I could describe it. It's pleasant enough. It's certainly a nice thing, which I'm going to actually. It's certainly a nice thing for the winter. Certainly something by the fire to have, you know, with a bit of chocolate or with some kind of dessert, something like that. That's what I'd recommend for that, really. I say I've got a bit of blueberry in there, and some other kind of flavours, but yeah, it's nice. I'd say I wouldn't say I'm getting salted caramel massively from it, but as like a nice Imperial coffee stout, I think it works really well, to be honest. I'm going to give that, I'd say on the quality, it's a good one. I'm going to give it an A-. It's decent enough. Can't remember how much this was now. I think it was about £6, something like that. So wasn't ridiculous, but you know, I've had better ones for less. So I'm thinking value for money. I'm going to give this one a solid B. Okay. Until next time, have a good one. Cheers.